Hey guys, BradM73 here. Welcome back to what might actually be the last issue of the Aoshima, or Aoshima, I don't know how to say the name, the Knight Rider build, and we've got the base chassis here. The wheels are all finished with the gloss coat on there. The blacked out underside. Not going to do anything special with that. Let's see here. We do want to get the circuit board for the LED, which has the scanner. We want to get that mounted. So this will be permanently mounted. And unfortunately, I only have 3 screws. One of the other screws went, I think it fell into my toolkit, and I've looked and looked and looked for it, and I haven't been able to find it. So someday it'll show up and I'll have to take KITT apart and put it in there, but that's all right. I don't mind too much. He's not too difficult to get apart. I also put the first clear coat on the main body, so I'll show that to you in just a second. We've got the T-tops painted, and it tells us not to glue the T-tops in. Like, I guess you're just supposed to kind of, leave them on top, but I don't want them, falling out all the time, every time you pick it up. So I am going to glue these with the canopy glue. The canopy glue it's like flexible. So, sometime down the line, if we ever need to pop those off, it shouldn't be a problem. But it's the Formula 560 canopy glue. The part number is PT56. It's made in the United States. I know it is available worldwide, but, you may have issues in your country getting it. I don't know. So here is the gloss coat now. I still think I want to go back and maybe sand a little bit around the headlights. I didn't actually install the headlights. Not sure if you can see it, so they don't fold up or anything like that. The other thing, I also went and put the mirrors in for the rear view mirror, or the side view mirrors. Sorry. We also have the upper console, which was kind of hiding. I actually have it all painted. Hopefully you can see that. And that will fit up in here somewhere. Right about there. And I haven't glued this in, obviously, because I was wanting to do the final clear coat first. Come on, how the heck does this go on? It has there's like 2 pins. And it should, why is it not popping into place? Just has to be difficult. It should be like right there. Right like that. So there is a little bit of the tan right there, so we can just hit that with some glue. But the first thing I want to do is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but essentially you have to paint around the edges with flat black. It doesn't have to be super perfect. I just masked using electrical tape, and once it's on there, you're not really gonna see anything. So let's see, this side goes here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of wipe it off really good. It actually has, these aren't scratches, but they may be next to impossible to see. So I'm gonna just blow that off really good. But it's actually part of the plastic mold itself, which is kind of weird. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this. Around the edge. I don't want to put... Oh, great. Stop blowing bubbles. I don't want to put so much that it does bubble up. And cause a problem. But I'm going to put these on, and the reason why I want these on now is because I am going to... I'm actually going to put the clear coat on top of the windows. I just think it's going to look a little bit better with the clear coat on there. So there's one. However, I'm not going to do the front window. I'm not going to do that until later. So we're going to have to stop blowing bubbles. And so all this is going to have to be perfectly dry, but I have to get this painted either later today or tomorrow at the very latest, because next week the deep freeze is coming. It was actually 61 degrees out today, which is you know, kind of odd for early December. Well, I mean, it's not terribly odd, but all right, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of warm, which is good. I'm just wiping the insides of this off. This one's going to be a little bit weird to install. They also wanted me to paint these four little not rivets, but they're basically kind of like the hinges for the glass, and every time I would touch paint to that, it would basically just bleed all over the glass. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through with that. All right, so now stop it. Now I'm just going to put kind of a bead around the edge of this. And if we get too much, paint on there and it pushes out on the side, it's not too big of an issue, because again, this all is going to dry clear. And it actually does dry clear because, well, here I can show you in a moment. All right, so we got that. And yeah, you can see, like on the sides there, how it doesn't look like it's going to dry clear, but trust me, it will. We can also take, and I'm just going to grab some paper towel here. We can also take some isopropyl alcohol right now and basically just wipe against the body itself. Whoa, gotta be careful. And that'll basically get any of the excess glue off. And we can always come back and do this again once the glue's completely dry. And then we'll clear coat over that, and it'll be really good. Okay. So, yeah, that looks pretty fugly there right now, but trust me, once it's done, it'll look absolutely amazing. Now, we're gonna set the window aside for now, the front window. Whoops. Let's see, where I did the license plate. Well, I didn't do it, but I painted the license plate bracket like a silver last night. Actually, I painted it like an aluminum. I used flat aluminum. I can use flat because we're going to clear coat over it, so not that big of a deal. We've got the Knight California license plate, so we're going to cut that out right now, and we'll put that on. Okay. And I've got some water right here, so I'm just going to dip that in there for a moment. Oh. Now this is the front light, the bumper. And I actually took some marker, basically just a permanent marker, and went across the glass, the clear plastic, to make those little louvers, because that's the way the original car looks. And so we're gonna leave those in there. Actually, I might even touch those up a little bit, and then this will get clear coated one more time. And I think I'm gonna bring in some sandpaper and just wet sand the top of this also before we do that, or before we do the last painting. So I just want these to be nice and dark. Well, I'm not going to talk. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a million times better. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on the front of this bumper, a little bit of sanding along the top, and then we'll glue that all back together. All right, let's grab our decal here. And I have to make sure, okay. So it has these two pins on the back. You want the pins to be towards the top. And let's see, can I get some water on here? Looks like I can. Just going to grab one of the pins on the back with that. Okay. And once I have that in place, I'm just going to take a dry part of this towel, and I'm just going to push it down, and hopefully that'll squeeze some of the excess water out. And then once we clear coat this, it's going to be pretty much permanently on there. Let's see here. So yeah, this is going to pop on the back just like that. So we'll just go ahead and put a couple dabs of glue down on there. Whoa, that's way too much glue. And if we do get any overage, it's not really that big of a deal either, because once we put the clear coat on again, it's not gonna matter, because the clear coat will just kind of take it out. Now, let's see here. Let's go see. Do I want to do... For the most part, I'm happy with the way the right headlight looks fine. The left one still has a little bit of, you know, it needs to be sanded just a little bit. So I've got to scuff up my beautiful... I'm just going to kind of make a fold here. Yeah, I got to scuff up my beautiful paint job. But that's all right. That's why you do this. And sometimes, you'll actually want to do several coats of clear coat before everything's done, which might be what I'll do. And you can wet sand this. You can actually go and get this wet. I'm not going to do it just yet. This is going to be such a pain. Actually, I can get a little bit of water here from my decal thing here. And then hopefully that'll get everything I want out of there. Now I also have some bits of dust that I'm going to want to try to buff out. Otherwise, they're going to be there forever. There's another one right here on the side of the door. Actually, I can just go ahead and... And this is very, it's been so long since I purchased this, this sandpaper that I honestly don't know what it is, but it basically has a plastic backing. So once you use it for a while, you can just go ahead, wash it off in your bathroom sink, and it's good to go again. Or your kitchen sink if you want to go that route. Okay, so that's gone. I think that was really the only other dust spot. Let's see. Okay. All right, so we got that done. We got to do this. Sometimes I like to roll up my my sandpaper like this. And sand like this. Oh yeah, that's perfect there. Okay. 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 So now, really all I have to do is glue this last piece together. Whoops. Like this. Oh man, that's really scratched up. I'll have to, oh no. The windows aren't quite dry. They're almost dry, but not quite. They're very close though. Really the last thing that I have to do right now is the interior. Now I did glue in the brake pedals. Hopefully you can see those there. I also painted the center console right there. That was a bear because, you know, painting center consoles with toothpicks is very difficult. Painting the door, I painted one I kind of masked off, then the other one I just painted by hand, and just went really super slow with it. And actually it took about the same amount of time to do it either way. Now once you have, it actually tells you to glue, I think it tells you to glue the center console in before putting the doors on. And if you're going to build this kit, and hopefully you're watching along and you've done as I do, you haven't done that yet, because the way it makes the instructions look is you put the dash way far forward, and it actually doesn't. It sits up here, so it's essentially like this on the body, and the instructions make it look like it's, you know, way up here like this, but it's not. It should be right here. So now that we have the correct position, I can just hit this with some super glue. And actually, let me take this off really quick. We're just going to glue these two parts here. Whoa. There, and then even like just touching some glue on those corners. And then you can drop this right into place. And that essentially completes the interior. Now I do have a little bit of painting to do here and here. I also have this little luggage bar kind of thing. I don't know what they're supposed to be, tie down rods or something. But there's your finished interior. Minus one of the decals from the monitors, which my decal setting solution was supposed to cause it to set, but it didn't. It actually pulled it off, and it got stuck to a piece of tape, which I've kept. But at this point, I don't know. There's not really too much else I can do. Next, we will glue the chassis to the actual car. Glue, 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 glue. And then we're gonna take a break, because I'll need to go and wash everything off. Nope. Is this? Pretty sure that's on there. Okay. So we'll let this sit. So basically all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take a break, And I might come back in a day or so to finish this up, because it's going to need a while for this to sit fully, to dry. And then once I do that, I'm going to wash all this off in the sink, let this air dry, and then, or I don't know, I might even blow dry. And then I'll come back and hit the whole body again with the clear coat. I'm going to hit the front nose with the clear coat. And then when we come back, we'll be able to do the final assembly and finish up the kit. Oh, and then I also have to put the upper console in. So so when we come back, I'll have all of this painted, and we'll pretty much be ready for the last few steps. So I'll see you right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got a really, pretty good gloss coat on here. I think I'm actually going to put one more coat on. Unfortunately, the temperature has really dropped, and it kind of makes putting on the gloss coat a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to do to kind of finish up the model for now is I'm going to go ahead and glue in the upper console. And where's my glue? Okay, there we go. Like, where is it? So there's the 2 pins. And I'm hoping it does not cause any problems with the glass. So there's that. I'm just going to take a Q-tip, try to dab away some of the excess super glue here on the side to get that out. Okay, next, oh, this is the big step here, guys. Gluing on the front nose. And basically there's just 2 pins here. I was kind of hoping that, I could just, stick it on and pull it off as I needed. What I might, actually, I think what I'm going to do is, instead of gluing it on with super glue, I'm going to glue it on with the canopy glue, because this is a little bit more flexible, and so if I ever did need to pull it off in the future, it's not going to be, major undertaking to do that. I don't really foresee that happening, but I'm just going to do this. Everybody's like, don't do it. Brother. It's a little bit much there. Sorry about that. Now I'm just spreading it all over the place. Exactly where I didn't want it is in that little square hole. Okay. So we're just going to take this, pop it right on the front there. And that's going to line up right there. Let's see. Okay, this part's not going anywhere. So next is installing the windshield. And basically I'm just going to kind of tuck it up underneath the upper console and then push the 2 pins down here. And I'll just secure this with some of this canopy glue here. Like so. And then once this dries, once everything dries, we'll be ready to mount the body onto the rest of the car. So I'll be back in just a few minutes for that. All right, so it's been a few hours. I've let the glue cure, so the front is not going to come off. And it's not fully cured, but it's dry enough that, you know, it hopefully won't fall out on us. So we've got the center console, the upper console in place, and it does kind of hold the window in. I didn't put any additional glue on the top, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed from here to the future, and hope that you know, that actually stays in place. Now the trick is going to be getting this front end to connect into the little. There's basically two little clips that have to clip into the front here to hold the body in place. You don't actually glue the body on because you're going to need to eventually take the body off if you ever want to replace the two batteries for the front scanner. And the switch is actually on the bottom, and so that comes on, and then you've got your scanner there. So everything is, I mean, we don't have any parts left, so this is the moment of truth. We've got our body, and I might actually still go back and put like one more coat of clear coat on this, just to make it even a little bit more shiny, but we're gonna try right now to get this on. Now you do have to kind of pry the sides out a little bit, especially around the front wheel wells. Otherwise, it gets a little stuck. There we go. Nope. And this is the part that, uh-oh. Not a big deal, guys. Okay. Now I think we've got it. If not, it will become painfully apparent here shortly. Not even painful. Okay, I think that's it. Let's turn the front scanner on. Wrong way. Okay, the scanner is there. And just want to make sure that the body is in line with the sides here. It's amazing when you have like a gloss black paint job, how quickly it gets like little bits of dust and all kinds of stuff on it. But there we have it. That is the end of the build, the Aoshima Knight Rider. And I think the best part of this kit is the scanner. It actually has essentially 8 lights, and the way that they've done the LED, there's each light, I'm going to say, is actually comprised of a bunch of smaller points of light, so it kind of gives more of a diffused look. Plus it allows for the trail off of the scanner like you would have with an actual halogen light, but you wouldn't get with an LED light, and obviously these are LEDs. This is the Season 1 kit with the electronic scanner is very difficult to find. I actually spent about a month or two tracking one down that I felt was, you know, a reasonable price, because you know, you can find them out there on eBay, but they tend to be, you know, like $150 or more. I've seen them go upwards of $200, which I think is really kind of stretching it. You could theoretically buy a Season 1 kit for about $40 to $50 without the scanner, and then buy a Season 4 kit, you know, with the scanner. It's practically the same car, except the front nose is a little bit different, and I believe the internal cockpit, the dash, is a little bit different as well. But there you can see Let's get the focus there. You can see inside the car. It's turned out very, very well. And yeah, I would say this is definitely not a kit for starters. You know, if it's your first model, I probably wouldn't recommend this just because of all the micro painting that you want to do on the dash if you really want to get it to look authentic. I also found that some of the steps should have been arranged a little bit differently, and I think the instructions on how to actually glue in the dashboard to the body, you know, the inner tub, or the, you know, the inner the interior tub should have been made a little bit more clear. Also, I definitely don't like the way the headlights are situated. Now, I know if you want to be able to fold those up, you're going to need some pretty precise ways to apply super glue that I just don't have, and you know, I kind of shake a little bit sometimes, so you know, I'm just not that good at it. But like I said, I'm never going to be folding those things up anyway, and so, you know, it just didn't make that big of a difference to me. But overall, I'm extremely happy with the build here. Again, you know, I don't have the tires so that they can spin. You know, obviously I don't want it rolling off of any surface, so, you know, it's not like you can push it and make it go. I'm not worried about that at all. But it is cool that the steering works perfectly. So yeah, I'm really happy. I finally have my own little kit that I can put up on, you know, display in my office. I've actually wanted one of these my entire life, and I had a small one, like a Matchbox car, which I actually have in my office, but you know, it's pretty beat up. I'm actually thinking about maybe disassembling it and repainting it, but I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge at another date. But guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure to build, and you know, like I said, I might actually come back and do like another coat of clear coat, you know, especially if it gets warmer out and I feel like doing it. But couldn't be happier. I'm really super happy with this kit. Definitely recommend it. The Aoshima Knight Rider Season 1 kit, Knight Industries 2000, and this did include the what is this? The LED front scanner unit. There are kits out there, model kits that of KITT that don't include the front scanner, and they generally range between about $40 on the low end up to about $80, $70 or $80. So definitely pay attention. You know, if you pick up one of these kits and you want the scanner unit, pay attention to what you're buying to make absolutely sure you're getting what you hopefully are paying for. But guys, that is it for this build. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed hanging out with me watching the build, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button. Let me know how I did down in the comment section, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe for this and many more videos, and hopefully more model builds to come. Guys, I'm BradM73. Thanks again. We'll see you in the future. Bye for now.